Hi, everybody. Remember this from the previous video? Well, I emptied it out on camera except for that one tray, and now I made a big mess on a plate. So I will show you that plate. You already know what my ugly mug looks like. And let's see here. I will just do some improvisational beading for you. Yeah, this is a big, huge herkin mess, isn't it? Well, that's half the fun. Um, there's a needle strung on this. I want to keep this aside because that's going to be something we can all learn from, I believe. Yeah, I'm going to see about not getting poked by stray needles, bead needles. Um, oh, there's some more bead needles than I thought there were in there. And just because this is already started, I might bead from it. So, well, let's see. I want to show you what I do with just things that are just a huge herkin big old mess. Um, doesn't bother me too much. It probably bothers most people. These are on Hanks, so I'm going to just eliminate them from the pile for now. And yeah, there's some stray stuff on here. What can you say? I'll get the stray, unfettered, unthreaded needles off of there. And I might, let's see, I might show you. Well, this is a previously bent needle. I might have been the one who did the bending. And I'm looking at it and it's looking like a size 10 needle. There's some beads down here that are really possibly too small for a size 10 needle. And especially these guys, I want to scoot this down so you can see it better. There we go. Some of these purple beads, the light purple are smaller than the big purple. So I want to show you before I get started with this guy. I may or may not, why not? Why not? This guy I'm talking about. This is something that was found like this in one of those trays in the box. And I might just improvisationally do something with it in a minute. But I want to show you the difference between the different needle sizes because I have an opportunity to do so. And it's a handy thing to do. I have this, to me looks like a sewing needle. So I'm going to try to, it'll work. Oh, I don't know. It might just be what they call a sharp, which is a shorter size needle. The eye of the needle is tiny. So, and the eye of the needle is not wider than the length of the needle. Therefore, yeah, it might be a beading needle after all. But what I wanted to show you is, let's see, I'll take a beading needle that is strung. Oh, I was hoping I'd have a bigger beading needle strung up, but I'll just use a big needle to see if I can get the smaller size seed beads past the eye of the needle. Not quite. So I kind of shoved it on there. So if this had thread on it, it's probably going to not make it through. And if it does make it through once, it's probably not going to make it through a second time. What I found is that, well, here's another one of those smaller ones. It's not making it past the eye of the needle, even though the eye of the needle is either not at all or not significantly larger than the rest of the needle, the shaft of the needle. So I'll see if I can bust the bead. Maybe not. Um, what happens then, and I've done this before, is second time I go through a bead or the third or fourth time even, my needle breaks the bead. So watch your needle sizes. That's a size 10 needle. Size 10 needles are fine for, I'll show you, slightly larger beads. Size 11, size 8, so, size 6, just like wire gauges, the bigger the bead, the lower the number. The higher the number, the smaller the bead. Now, these also, the first three beads, not counting this tiny one, might supposedly be the same size. They may have said that on the packaging, but they're not exactly the same size. So that's something to watch for, especially with beads that are older, i.e., before say 1990. Bead manufacturing has improved over the years, but don't let wonky sizes stop you. If you like a color, if you like a type of bead, go for it. Now, I just tried to get these beads, larger beads even, over the eye of that needle on the larger size 10 needle. And needles, again, the higher the number, the smaller the needle. The smaller, the lower the number, the larger the needle. These are size 10. I also use size 12, size 10 and 12 mostly. But if I have to go smaller, like if I'm putting eyeball veins in size 22 beads on an eyeball that I made out of size 11 seed beads, and I'm using size 22 vintage seed beads for eyeball veins, I have to go to a size 16 needle, which is wafer thin. I mean, we're talking like, I think this is one of my size 16 needles. You look at it side by side, this other needle looks like a log, practically. Well, I'm exaggerating, but why not exaggerate, right? Uh, so just so you know, even this size 10 needle with these ostensibly size 11 seed beads, I believe, they just look like size 11 from my experience. It's not going to work. Maybe they're vintage, maybe that's why, but I have to use a smaller needle, even for those. So I'll show you how these smaller beads, and I'm thinking they're size 14. Again, same with everything. The smaller the bead, the higher the number. So these are size 14 as opposed to size 10 and 11. The blacker 11, the wider 10. And let's see if it goes through. I bet it will. The size 16 needle. Yep, passed right through. I don't have thread strung on it. Otherwise, I would do something with it there. But with that lovely introduction, I'm just going to start screwing around with the beads. Why? Because I got a big old Herkin plate full of beads and I need to make something useful out of it, right? So why don't I've got a whole bunch of size 11 black and white, a size 11 and size 10 black and white seed beads here. So why don't I continue? I'm just going to improvise. I kind of don't care what I'm doing right now because it's kind of fun to not know necessarily what you're going to end up with sometimes. So why don't oh, yeah, I just strung a piece of thread or a piece of fuzz. That's the one exception. I think I'll keep it to stringing beads and not fuzz this time. I think I'm going to just play around with the size 11 black seed beads. Black goes with everything, right? Including this that somebody started and left ever so intriguingly. So one thing that I like to do is an open weave. People call it netting, people call it open weaves. And there are lots of names for things in the bead world and they don't always match up, but I'm going to just call this an open weave for now. And I think I'll actually make it not overly freeform, I'm going to put on the same number of beads that I'm about to skip. And I'll keep it to the same color. Hope I'm not boring the heck out of you right away with that ever so normal stuff. I'm bringing a little order out of the chaos, right? Now, what I want to do is I can use this as an abacus. I can also just size it. Okay, I think I need to take 2 beads off. And yeah, I have a blue one in there. I think I'll live with it. Why? Uh, because nobody's stopping me. So just for fun, and do I have another blue one on there? Yeah, I got a couple blue ones on there. C'est la vie. I'm going to go through all 3 of these other colored beads, the blue, and I'm going to go all the way down to the other end and see how it goes. What the hey? Now, I'm not going to bore you to tears with taking you through every stitch that I do because I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep this video relatively short and not think that you're fancy that you're going to have the fanciful idea that you're going to sit here for 45 minutes and watch me bead. But what I'll do is I'll continue this. I'll stop the video, I'll continue this, and I'll come back when I've done more stuff with this plate. I might just revisit it periodically and just give you little progress reports. And yeah, I might even use the big P plastic beads. Who knows? Even plastic beads can be really cool if done right. So hope you like that video. I hope you like all this stuff that I'm doing. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do other things with seed beads and demos and show you stuff. I just thought I'd follow up on that whole, oh my God, look what I found, this box of beads, and dumping all these beads on this plate willy-nilly, getting them all horribly mixed up and going from there and not letting that daunt me. So hope you like it. I'll see you next time. Take it easy. Bye.